Okay, we'll start now.
Yep, sure.
Fine. Okay, so till now we will see actually what's the biggest best practice about like smart objective, what is the good requirement and good specification, and actually how that can be part of the like what is the role of a BA and how it differ from a traditional business architect. And now actually like we can see what are the different prototypes we can do actually like the case management, flow management, data modeling, and some of the automatic business policy. So today we are going to start with case management. And within the case management, if you can see, we are going to cover what is the purpose of the case life. Actually, what is actually in Pega we are calling as a case, and what are the different elements which are actually part of the case, and what is the relationship between stages, case type, process, and steps. And finally, we'll see the demo actually how we can create case and stages and process using the Designer Studio and Pega Express. So normally Pega application works actually a 10-step process. So that actually we initially they will give you that like we need this particular region of the project. So there actually we got the objectives. Actually that's from the business people or business stakeholders. There are multiple people they will involve. From then we get the vision actually what actually we want, and then uh, the requirements part actually there we have might be actually we complete some of the functional requirements and convert into specification into that second step, and then we go for the modeling of the process which we are in Pega that is actually called it also case management. Now actually in previous version of Pega case management was not there. Actually they are managing the business process as a flow itself, but they started case management with Pega 6x, and in 6x they started, but that was not that featureful. Actually they have not given many features within the case management. So with Pega 7 they have given a lot of new features like how you can maintain cases, more graphical representation, more things we can do within the case, and there are more features added for the business architect role as well. So they can actually enable to do some of the things which is for during the prototyping of the application. So that's actually like more of the things was enabled onto the case management with Pega 7. And Pega, with every release of Pega, actually like okay. With every release of like if you say started with Pega 7, 7.1, 7.2, 1.2, 7.1.3, every time they made the changes into case management. Actually, case management was actually like was a big topic in every change release. So if you see with 7.1, it was doing something how you can create a process which stays within the that was different in 7.1.7. It was changed in 7.1.9. Again, it's changed in 7.2 and 7.2.1. So actually like if you can see it like in different version in the Pega, sometimes it's like the case management is changed in different version in different way. But the concept is same. Actually like it will contain the same cases, then process, stage. That's the concept is same, remain same, but the way is doing, they have enhanced the features within the onto that. Okay, and actually like we're going to cover the other topics as well. So that will be cover one by one. We'll do that, like how we can go for the after the data modeling, how we can go for the UI modeling, and how we can like business architect role on each of the like steps. We are going to cover that out. So when actually like in the traditional business application in an organization, if you are being using to support an application, they have different applications for different purpose. So they are actually separate application for payments and an accounting, separate application for CRM, separate application for websites. Actually, there we can the customer can interact. There will be some separate apps for the internal handling. Then there will separate handling for delivery or anything. So it's like it's they have uh, different applications to cater, and they need to refer multiple applications if you want someone wants to look for information. So sometimes it's like if there will be no collaboration, it will take longer time to resolve a task. So Pega's terminology says that like integrate everything in one place, so that if you want that information can be integrated in a single application. So that's one approach actually of the case designing. So in the case designing, we can have multiple actors, there can be multiple systems, and actually we can give the data from the multiple system in a single place. So that actually like Pega's one more approach to design the case management. And another approach is case management is all about how business looks about the work. Right. Actually, if business people are actually asked to do a process the claim, so they will think about that. How will they process the claim? And if it's something actually like if you're going for a purchase request, so they will think onto this 4 steps which are given. Actually, they will look for, okay, customer will request for the order, then payments department process the payment, then actually it will check in the inventory if the items is there or not. If it is not there, then it will be request from the vendor to pick the item. Once the item was reached, again it will send it to the customer. So they will actually think about how actually like the process should work. So Pega's case management in the same way, actually they also provide the way actually business thinks. So case management is all about like how business process and how actually we can integrate in the same way to display that in the graphical management, and the application can be managed in the same way in the case management. Okay, so that's actually covered the case. In Pega, we can see this is like it consists of stages. Within the stage, it can be consist of process, and process can consist of steps. So case is nothing but actually it delivers one business outcome, and which will provide a meaningful deliverables for the all the interested party like customer, partner, and all the related stakeholders. So that actually like we can see will every business process actually which we are working, that can be converted into a case management within the Pega itself. So how we can go for composing a business process to different stages. So there are some actually best practices about that. We're going to see that. So the main thing actually which says about the case management is that like it should add values to the business, and it should be consistent, and actually like it's visibility to the, like it should provide the visibility to the business people. So one more thing actually Pega also says that if it's already told, Pega doesn't enforce the best practice, because many organizations have their own best practices and standards. So actually if that is actually like are better than Pega's best practices, then the actual organization should follow that standards and best practices onto that. So that's actually always Pega says go for which is the best practices. Actually create best practices from the different standards, and actually whatever the things which are good to develop the things, and need to be consistent onto that. When we are delivering anything, be consistent on what you are going to achieve.
So Mukesh, like a case means like a whole project in itself is called a case?
Yeah,
Or
that's
it's
right.
like
Actually,
each iteration will be, I mean, like, you know, if you are having small single releases during a sprint or so, I mean, that is considered as a case too, or whole project?
yeah, Manoj, actually like one of the actually like handling of the claim. So we can actually like in the first iteration, so in the case we are given the basic facility into it, like how you can process a happy path of the claim. And the next within the case, we are adding more features onto it, like how you can do fraud detection into it. So the more features can be added within the case itself in the next iteration. So case is actually like one business like end-to-end business process. In simple term, we can add many more things within the case afterwards as well. So actually like initially like we can design with the 3 stages, and then later we can add more stages into it, and we can add different processes within it. And initially like we have given a basic UI, and then later actually we can customize the UI in next iteration.
Okay.
Mukesh,
Yes.
these stages means different iterations, right?
No. Actually, this is the how your business flows. Actually, if you see one more example, actually, I'll see if it is. Stages are not iteration. Actually, if you see actually the before example which I showed about the purchase request. So this is actually, if you can see, there are the 4 stages into it. Like the customer is going to create a new order, then he's going to for the processing, actually like the payments and everything, how that need to be done. Then it's going for the fulfillment, actually from the it will take from the inventory and it will be packaged, and then it's go to the shipping department to deliver the item to.
Okay, it means the whole flow
Yes,
is
that's right. Case is the whole flow. That is like is a life cycle. It will start to end.
okay.
So the complete, you see, the complete
And
of the
in
process.
different iterations, we are going to add more features in each of the, means we can add more features in each stage.
Iteration. That's right. Actually, see, initially if you plan that, okay, you have around 15 requirements. So you actually first 7 requirements you have gone for the like first iteration, and then you want to include many more requirements within that in the next iteration onto the same case. It's like you have like the basic features. So you thought that like that can be included in the first iteration. So you included that in the first iteration with the simple case up to that, and later actually if you say you have to go for some more advanced features, so that can be accommodated within the same case later.
Okay.
Is it clear, or will I explain some
Yes,
more bit of it?
it's clear to me.
Okay. Thank you.
So I mean,
So,
you said 17 requirements is for the first stage, right? Or is it for the
no,
whole
no, no,
thing?
no. No, actually that is for the complete
Okay.
project. So just I'm saying actually the example, like you have 15 to 20 requirements for the complete project, okay? And like in the first iteration, you say, okay, you are going for the 10 requirements to complete that. So that will be going to one meaningful for the release for the like business users can use that. And there are some exceptions and there are some advanced features. So that if you can plan for the like some of the requirements which are there. So you can plan for the next iteration to deploy that.
Okay.
So actually, like if you will start looking into the application, you will see that like how the case for like works. Okay. So initially, like yeah, it's little bit some of the things may look into that. So once we will look for the case, we'll see more of that. So you can see case is actually where actually it's told like how business people look about the flow of your like how should it start and end. So that will be going to cover within the case. So case lifecycle design, business user to see, interact with the case in the same way, they think about the same. So case have like they can have actors, like what are the tasks they need to do, what are the data they actually like going to include, what is the different status we can include into that, like it's a pending, it's a new, it's a open, it's actually completed. So that thing also we can set using the case, and all the history and audit information will be including within the case itself, and finally like how it can be going to be complete. So everything actually in the case we can include in the same in a single place. Okay, and that's I told cases are actually divided into different milestones, so that will be called as stage. So within that actually we can convert the like complete process into different chunks. Actually, like okay, one logical execution. So if you see one thing happen, so first actually like customer is requesting for the product. So if it's like based on the requester also we can define the stages. And next actually accounts department, they will going to check the payments and everything was fine. Then it will go to the vendor fulfillment department. So they are going to do they will check the inventory. If it is not there, then they will go into the fulfill the order and they will package it and they will going to send it to the courier department, and then courier department will take care of the delivery of that. So that actually we are saying actually we are going to cover that how we can go for decomposition of the case if based on the requirement. Okay, so this is like some of the best practices for case type. So if you can see, like it's an accident claim. So first, actually, we can convert into 3 different stages: notice of loss, and then it will be investigated, and then finally, like if it's everything is fine, it will be going for the settlement.
So accident claim is the case type here, right?
Yes, that's the case name. Yeah, that's the case type. And again, like online order, so that is the case type. Within that, it include stages, and stages consists of various process and steps within it.
And each stage can have multiple iterations and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, implementation part, like forgot about the implementation now. Okay, how you are going to implement that? You can leave that. So first, understand actually like what's actually case all about. How you can implement that, we can see in later class. Manoj, I just want to know actually what you mean by actuation into this one.
No, different steps within the same stage is what like.
Yeah. Actually, see.
We can split the requirements of each stage into multiple iterations.
That is like that I told. Like there's the first. Actually, the stage is nothing. Actually, we don't know. We don't do anything in the stage. Mainly, like we do achieve that using the processes and the steps only. So within that stage, what are the action we need to do? So that will be complete by processes and steps.
Okay.
So that is we'll see actually like once we will go further, you will see that how that is happening. Okay. So here if you can see like the example below which I've given, actually if you see if you want to go to for a construction, okay, actually like we are going for a real estate business, and there our work is the construction. So in the construction we are going to create two type of case type, like it will be going for a new home or we are going for a remodeling of that. So there actually like two of the case type we can create as a construction onto that. So actually like in the same way, actually like in the claims also we have many types of different claims. So that can be included as a different case types onto that.
Okay.
So you see actually like here accident claim, and if it is for the fraudulent credit card charge, it will like it's a fraud claim. So depend on that, like what is the type of the claim we are going to handle.
Okay.
And if you see the next, yeah, sorry, I did not tell about the best practices. So best practices is that the name which you follow for the case type, it should not be, just a minute, I'll just close the door. Sorry for this. Okay. So the case which will give the name, actually it should be a noun, okay, and there should not be more than 2 words. And actually the name which we are giving, it should be specific to, like it's relevant. Actually whatever they're doing, actually the related to that business transactions, the name should follow, the case name should follows that. Okay, and it should be meaningful and relevant with the business terms, so they can understand from the name itself, we can get to know what actually like it represents. Okay. So what actually mean by singular context? So if you are giving the name as claim only, right? So we'll not get to know actually like it's an accident claim, fraud claim, or some other actually health claim. So we are not able to get that from that. So that's why actually it says that it needs to be a singular context within that within the claim. Also we can create multiple type of claims to decide different type of claim handling. So it should be singular as well. So that's the fourth thing. It should be a noun. It should not be more than 2 words, 1 or 2 words only, and it should be meaningful and relevant, and it should be related with the specific business transaction. Okay. Next, actually, if you can see, every case types are actually made of stages. Okay, so the stages are consist of all the actions we are going to perform. So when we actually see the requirements, we can convert into different stages, like what should be can be done in parallel. So that if like handling during state processing, we can convert that requirements into multiple stages. Okay, so it will start that with the first stage, so that's the final we can mention. And if you can see that the same construction of home. So first actually we are going for the foundation, then actually we go for the framing, and finally we go for roofing after that. And then how we can go for foundation, how we can go for frame, how we can go for roof, that will be action and the steps and process we are going to do that. So that will be within the stage it will be come there. And in case of Pega, there are three type of stages we go for that. We call it primary stage, alternative stage, and resolution stage. So what you mean by primary stage is, so if you see, every process doesn't go for actually like normal course of action. So if you go for a purchase, if the customer buys it and it was delivered, that if you like, if you can say that is a happy path. Okay, so all the stages which are involved in a happy path, that we call it. So if you think actually like, so what happened if the person is going to cancel the order? Like he was say that, okay, the product which I ordered is, I don't want it now, and it was not delivered, then if you like, it says that it can be cancelled on the same time. Okay, and actually like it says that he was got a problem with that. Actually like it was delivered, and after that he wants to like he got some problem, so there will be one more warranty will be invoked with that. So there are actually alternative solutions from the happy path. So that if you look at Pega, that is called as alternative stages. So that can be done from the multiple places. So same way, one more example, if we say a candidate is there and we are he apply for the job, in the screening itself he can get cancelled, like he doesn't fit for the job. We need a 8-year experience guy and he has just 5-year experience. So in the screening round he can get rejected, and he can get rejected as well into the interview round as well. Like he did not perform well in the interview, so he got rejected. And he also get rejected into the higher round in the background verification also. Like his background verification was not successful, so he might get rejected in the background verification as well. And so there actually we can term that as alternative stages. So that is the exceptions to the normal flow. So if you say have happy path, and then alternatives are exceptional scenario, or actually like how you can handle exceptional things from the normal process. Okay, so if you see, it's like I've given that the example. So that's the first stage, next stage, and case close. So that's the happy part. And in Pega, that the legend was used. So just I'm going to see about the next one. And resolution is there where your case, that stage where your case is going to be closed. So that is the stage we call the resolution stage. So that is, there can be multiple resolution stages into the system. And now one more difference between primary and alternative is primary follows the sequence, actually like from first stage to next stage to that one. But alternate stage doesn't follow any sequence. Actually, like if it is moved to that stage, it will remain there in that stage, or it will be closed from that stage. It will not go from one stage to another in the alternate stage. So if you say the order is rejected, so it will be just completed and the case will be closed from that. And alternate stage can be only manually invoked from the primary stage. We cannot start alternate stage at the first stage. Okay. So this is the Pega's terminology to listen, case legends. Actually, like the diagram which will be shown as a case diagram. So that the primary diagram will be shown actually without anything, as in the black color. Resolution stage in actually, if you can see the below is a red line. So that symbol that the case is closed within that stage, and alternate stage shown in orange color. Okay. And there is two things actually, like how we go for the transition from one stage to another. So if you see here, if you can see, it's like from one stage to another, like all the processes and steps of stage A is completed, then it's going to move to the next stage, or will it wait? It's the case is going to be closed. There will be no further stages onto it. So in this scenario, actually, like the transition we say that actually like it can be automatic, it's a manual or resolution. So that is the transition. Based on that, the symbol change. So if you see in the alternate stage, it doesn't wait for anything. Actually, like so there is no connection between that two stages. But in case of first diagram, so you see first stage is connecting to the next stage. So automatically it moves to the next stage. So that is will be called as transition within the stages. So this one is automatic transition, and if it is not connected with each other, then it will like then we call as manual transition. So that is we need to some user intervention is required to move from one that stage to another stage. Okay, and we'll talk about the processes and talk about the best practices for processes and steps. So I'm not talking onto that. We'll come back to that one. Okay. So how we go for defining the stage? So the first thing is that like which I told actually whenever you are transferring the authority from one person to another. So it's like in the swim lane we do in the same way, right? Actually we have different actors, and what actors we are going to perform from that actors. We do that in the swim lane. So that can be converted into in stages. Or actually like if you are changing actually one work is completed, we are going to start with the some other from other department, then also we can convert into a different stage onto that. So in there actually picking the example, actually there is a loan, actually someone is applying for the loan. So first actually like it says that origination, so we will give the customer detail and how much loan is required. Then the next step it can go for the qualification or verification for the loan, and if it is verified successfully, then it will go to the finance department. He will be going to the underwrite and payments will be done onto that. And finally, loan is sanctioned and he will going to someone actually close your case. Okay, and one more example, if you can see when we are going for the best practices onto that. So it says that actually when you are going for a naming of the stage, you should go for a noun or a noun phrase. Okay, and maximum we should give the stage at 7. So that is actually we call it rule of 7 when defining the stages. Okay, and it will be plus minus 2 can be happen. And Pika says that it's like don't go for minimum. It's like if it is 1 or 2 case stages as well, that's fine. But don't go for more than 7 or more than 9. So if it is more than 9, then actually plan for as a different case. So that can be covered from that, so that we can plan for as a sub case. And again, it should be not more than 2 words. So that's like some of the best practices when we are defining the stages.
Mukesh, you said sub case or another case?
Yeah, actually see, you sub case, actually like within the case, you are calling some of the functionality from the sub case. So there will be parent-child case relationship also we can involve here.
Okay, so we can have a sub case also.
Yes, actually like within that the case, if you say actually like there are some of the functionality you want to involve in a separate way, so that you can include as a sub case within the case itself. So if you say in the candidate case, you want to do background verification from third party. So you send a request to them to do, like you have provided all the details and send them to do that. So you want to track that separately, background verification. So you created one more sub case within the parent case. So whatever the results will come from the background verification, which will be attached with the parent case of that, of the candidate.
So what is the limit for child cases?
It depends. Actually, like you can have multiple. The same way, how many stages and processes you can have, right? So that you can include as many. So the same way, the number of stages are 7. So you can have actually like in each stages you can have like, and again 7 subcase you can include there. Okay, and there is one more practice is that like how many number of processes you can have. Same like the rule of 7 is there. Go for 7 or plus minus 2 as the process as well. Okay, so you can have 9 subcase within one of everyone. If you want the maximum subcase, everything can be subcase. So that it will be 9 into 7. So you can have 63 subcase as well. So that's the best practice onto that. If you want, you can include more onto that. The main thing is that the maintainability will be like difficult. If you have more the things, actually if you are going for further more cases within the single case, so you will lose the focus, visibility will be like lost. Like how it's moving from one to that. Okay, it was there in the first stage, how it was there, and in the now it is 7th stage. So how it's happened into the 6th stage. So you will lose the visibility, or like it will be little difficult to the maintainability. That's the main concept of the Pega. Go for small things. Don't go for a big things in a single place. So that you can divide the work into multiple subcases as well. I will cover that one actually, how like what are the best practices when we want to go for a subcase. So that is not going to cover today. Subcase I'm going to cover in some other future classes. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's actually like about the today's most of the things which we are going to do that. So today actually like now actually like I'm going to show you first, and then we are going to do this demo one. Actually like there is one description we have, and we want to convert that into we are going to create. Actually we have already given the name as time of our case. So we are going to what are the different alternate stage and what are the different primary stage we can achieve from the time of application. So that actually we are going to do. Before that, I'll show you how we can create cases, and then we are going to create our demo part of it. Okay. So if you see here, actually like this is actually like when you log in for the first time, it will show you the case onto your as the first screen. Okay, and it will be displayed you this one data model onto that. So okay, sorry. First, actually, like when you come onto the first after login, you can go to the your case explorer. Click onto the case explorer. It will show you the all the cases which are involved in your application. If you click onto that, you it's already open, and so that thing will close that out. So first, actually, like in the data model, we are going to cover in some other class now. So yeah, and then the main thing is the life cycle, where we are going to give the representation of our case. So first time, if there is no case will be there, it will show you that a blue screen you want to add. Okay, I'll 1 minute. Actually, I want to go. Actually, I'll show you that screen how it looks like. So for that, okay, what I'm going to do is first, actually, I'm not going to change this flow. I'm going to create a sample case type here. Okay, so for that, actually, I click onto the add a case type. Okay, and I'm giving as sample 1. Okay. As part of exercise, we are going to update this time of stages.
So you are making a case under the application time off, right?
Yes, that's right. Actually, like we should give the different name of the application. We should give time off, because I gave the same name, time off and time off. So the class structure becomes time off and time off. We should give as the HR services as the application name. So we can include many more application within the HR services.
Right.
So, but yeah, so now it was given as the name as time off. So it will be given the same structure within it.
Do you think
Okay,
you have
so,
time? Okay.
yeah. So if you see in the life cycle, so if you're creating a completely new case, you will get this the first window. So that's I told. They keep on changing how case management works. So if you see in 7.1.9, it is different. 7.1.7 is different. 7.1.2 is different. So they are keep on enhancing the case management a lot. So they are adding more features in every version. So in the latest version, in 7.1.9, they are giving dummy structures for that. Like there will be, when you start, it will going to give you 3 sample resume, like sample stages, and with the process into it. But now they have removed the sample one, and you need to start from the scratch onto that. So if you click onto that, you move to the here. So here we can give the name of the stages. Like I'm just giving stage 1, stage 2, like that. Okay, so this is a very simple way to add a stage. Only thing is that like how you can decompose into different stages, what are the things you want to achieve within the stage, that need to be come from the discussion into the dissociations. Okay, so now you can see actually like the settings. If you click onto the got it, you will see the some of the configurations onto the right hand side. So now if you see wait for the user action, so that is the manual. So that's why if you see that there is no connection between the stages. So if I'll change that to automatically, and from here also if I change it to automatically, okay. So every stage actually I move that to atomic, and actually if we saved it, the flow will change. So if you see now, it was automatic. So all the processes of stage 1, if it is completed, it will be going to move to the next stage. So there will be no user action is required now. And if you can see the final one with here in stage 3. So after that there is no stage. So we are saying that. So I want that to need to be resolve the case. So there you can see that the in Pega there are 4 types of status. We are going to cover that. So currently we can see that it's a resolve completed. So the case will be going to be closed. Once I will save it, there will be a red line below that. Okay. So there you can see now the case is treated in that way.
Mukesh, just a doubt.
Yeah.
Time off is the application. Sample 1 is the case, right? Under that.
Time off also is a case.
Oh.
So you can have multiple case within the application.
Okay, so where is the application? I lost that then. We have an application.
See, you have an application, case belongs to the application.
Oh, okay.
Whatever the cases you are seeing here, that are part of the application. So this
Okay.
application, we have this many cases. So a case, an application contains many cases within it.
Correct, yeah, but which application is this? I mean, are we under some application?
If you see here, at the top here,
that's what you said. Okay,
yes.
So time off is an application itself, and you have 2 cases. One is sample 1 and time off.
Yes. So actually that I told, actually like I gave the application name and case type as the same.
Okay, got it. Yeah. I was confused because when I looked at the tree structure, suddenly it like sample 1 was on top and time off was below. I was like, wow.
No, actually actually this is actually like the alphabetical order. So there is no within that. So this is alphabetical order. So if you say I'm going to create an case type ABC, so that will be going to at the top of it.
Right. Yeah. Now, I was thinking that time off application that was showing the application name, but it's actually not. It's
actually this is the case. That's I told. I've created the same name as application and.
Yeah, no, that's fine. No, I was confused. I got it clear now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So now quickly I've created one more case type. So that will be going to be as the top ABC. So that an application can contain multiple cases within it. So that you can see that actually started with the first one.
Yeah, got it now.
Yeah. So if you see it's like the transition actually I've discussed, and then you can see you have directly which the diagram I showed about that, you can get it from the action tab, the view region. So you can see this the same picture which I shown in the PPT. Okay, so from there we can get to know primary, resolution, and alternate stage. And you can see the automatic transition and manual transition of the case within the stages. And how to create an alternate stage? We have that option, configure alternate stage. So from there, if we create alternate one, so that will be shown in a orange color. So this way, and actually if you can see, there is no, yeah. Hello? Someone is asking some question?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Mukesh, can there be in a particular case, can there be more than one resolution stage?
Yes, there can be more than one resolution. It's depend. Actually, see, alternate stage are actually like you have like in primary path is we might not see. Actually, what can happen is resolution stage like depend on some condition. Okay, so you can set some condition here as well. So if you say I make a case 4, stage 4, okay, and as resolve the case. Okay. So in stage 3, you are doing for some specific business, and stage 4 you are doing for some other, right. So if you see, actually you have a single structure of some of the many region wise. So in this region you are handling the US, in this region you are handling the EMEA. US cases will follow the stage 3, and Europe business. Is that answers you, Priyanka?
Mukesh?
Yes, Sonam?
Yeah, actually I didn't get, her question was that in one stage can we have more than one resolution?
Within one stage, like see, stage is nothing, right? Actually, stage is like resolution, right? So within that, yeah, you can set the status. So this is the status. You can set the status in different states. Depend on the condition, you can set that value. So if you say actually like you got to resolve the claim, right? So actually finally you got the claim. So if you say it is duplicate, so you can close that out. Or it says that it was resolved, so you can close that. Okay, and if you say that it was a fraud, so it was rejected. So that all the things you can include within a single stage as well.
So means what I can understand is that there can be just one resolution in one stage. Why
Yes.
we will another resolution when it has resolved? Then why we will look for another resolution? I could
Okay.
not practically think about this thing.
Okay, so if you see in your case, you are handling multiple business within the same one. Okay.
Okay.
So stage 3 is actually for a particular region. Stage 4 is for one more region. Okay. So if you're from the stage 2, you can either jump to stage 3, or from stage 2 you can directly jump to stage 4. You can skip the stage as well.
Okay.
So if you say for this is I'm doing for US, from the stage 2 I check for this is for which region. Okay.
Okay.
And if it is for US, I move to the stage 3, and if it is for EMEA, I move to stage 4. If it is for APAC, I move to stage 5. Okay, and every stage has actually their own resolution into there.
Okay. So each stage will have its own resolution, and that will be the one resolution.
Yes,
but there
that's
can
right.
be multiple resolutions, and those resolutions are tied to different stages.
Yeah, within actually see what's the meaning of multiple resolution. So resolution stage is only one, right?
Yes.
There can be multiple conditions to resolve that.
Yes, I got it. No, actually, I thought what she asked was that within a stage there can be multiple resolution. Like in stage 3, we can have 3, 4 resolutions. So
Yeah,
that
that also. So that also possible. Like see, like resolution means what? Like what are the condition you want to resolve your case, right?
Okay.
So within that stage, you have multiple conditions to resolve your case. So if that condition is getting satisfied, then only like your case is going to be closed or resolved from that. So you can set multiple steps. Within the multiple steps, you have multiple conditions to test it out to resolve the case.
Depending on the condition, we can have the resolved state. Like if
Right.
condition 1 then resolved, if
Yes.
there is something other condition then resolved. So it depends on the condition.
Yes, that's also depend on the condition. It doesn't mean that if it is reached to that stage, it's going to be resolved.
Yeah. Okay.
And actually the thing is that like when it is reached to that stage, it means that like something has happened onto that case, and that's why it's moved to that stage. Like it's going to be completion stage. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is we can go for the alternate stage as well. Okay. Yeah. So that's actually more of the things under the designer studio. So what I'm going to do is the case which we have, we are going to do that into the Pega Express so that you can get the view of both one. So it is like nearly same actually which we did it here. So in the Pega Express also, when we are going to create the case, this work area is same for both in the Designer Studio and the Pega Express. Okay. So first actually I'll give you 5 minutes to just read this one, and then we need to come up with the different stages. We can go for the time of one, and what are in the last line, if you can see, it will give you the different alternate stage we can configure for our process. Okay, so if you can read this for around 2-3 minutes, and then we can think that like what are the different stages we can think about in this requirement. Okay. Yeah. So you have read it out. Hello everyone.
Yep.
Yeah. So can we see actually like what are the different stages we can think about in this one?
I think the first one will
Okay,
be
I think there are.
So first thing, actually, how many stages you are think that like this should happen?
In terms
First,
of
collecting
primary
information.
stages, I think there are 3 main primary stages.
Yeah, okay, 3, okay. Yeah, Manoj, actually we are talking about first the collecting information. Yeah, okay. So if you like first, yeah, first if we can say, yeah, we are going to the get the information, what type of leave request you want to go for that. So we can see it is submission, the request, or create the request. So that actually either name we can give for that.
So we like collect the information and submit the request.
The thing is that, like, if you see, stage name should be a noun phrase, so you should think on that one. Collect information is very, like we can say, very generic one.
Employee information. I mean, vacation information. Leave
That's
information.
leave, or you can see like, yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is actually the stage creation. This is see that actually it's not the good or bad about like what the naming convention we are follow. So everything actually is depend on what's the best practices and actually like some of the intuition we have and actually what it's followed in that organization. We should think about that as well before deciding on to that. So the first thing actually
request information.
First is actually says that submission. Actually, because we are going to request it here, we are not going to collect the information. Like main approach is we want to submit the leave request. Actually, like, overall focused actually on the first or the last request or submit the request. So that actually we have submission. So that actually we have gone for a stage as a submission onto that. And the next you can see for the approval. Okay, and the third actually can go for the review. Okay, so there actually HR is going to for the review. So we can have submission, approval, and then review, and finally like see leave can be applied before 1 month, like, and within that month it can be cancelled. So we need to wait for the leave should be start. So we need to onto that pending request, and then finally it will be resolved. So we can have 5 stages onto it. So that's why actually like it's not always like for you actually like you can think okay this should be the best approach to implement the stage. So it might be the best practices and that can be also be done. It's not always actually like what you can. So that actually like actually in the example is it's should be 4 stage. I included one more the review actually because we are doing the review separately from the HR. So there is a one more person attached, so we can include as a review as well from the HR. And finally, and the last line, how many alternate stages we can go for it? From the last, actually you can see there are alternate stages or we can think of from that.
Yeah, I think there should be 2 alternate stage.
Okay.
Yeah, cancel or rejected.
Okay. Anyone has actually the same thing or? There is actually 3 onto that, like cancel and reject. Yeah, that's 2. And one more, you can see the employee can update the length of their request. Right? So they actually they can change after it was approved. They can also change the length of the request. So there is one more alternate onto that. So there is 3 alternate stage: update the length of their request, or cancel the request, or reject the request. That's it. So that's actually we are going to see that how we can go with the Pega Express to do this. Okay. To go to the Pega Express, we can go from here or we can log in as a author. So from there, like it will be same way. So if you go to the change to Express mode, the same screen which when we log in with the author user ID, we'll see the same screen there. So here, so first actually it will give you some of the, every time it's coming out of that, I'm not sure if we can, this is like I've come in many times. Actually, I'm coming to the Pega Express. This information is coming every time. I think I need to check that out. How we can keep it for the next time. Okay. So the first thing you can see there are because we have created that three cases. So that three cases are showing here. So here we are going to implement the time off. So here also we can see at the right corner data model, life cycle and views. Okay. So first we need to go with the life cycle, and same way it's going to the stages. Here also we can go for the same way, like we want to go for the submission. So this is the submit for the request. Then we go for approval. Then we go for review of your leave request, and we can include one actually like pending request. So there is like till he has not gone for the leave. Actually, like we have applied for 1 month, so it will be in this stage. From there, it can go for the update of the part of it. And finally, it can be resolved. Okay, so that's the 5 stages we have included, and we can. So the same way, if you got it, you can see the same options to change the transition phase. So every stage is like depend on, we can make it automatic. Pending request actually like that depend on the user. So we are not actually we want to make as a wait for a user action only. Like user need to come back and need to do that. So in that scenario, we are not changing that. So it will be look in this way. From after that, we can. So from pending request, we can change it to again to user action. Oh, sorry, it needs to be in this way only. Okay. So that is like we have done that. Yeah. So we can make that done onto here. So there now we have seen that we have added all the stages within it. So that's the thing. So we are going to see more onto the Pega Express, how we can do more features from the Pega Express. So this is the way we can add stages now. Actually, like we are going to see other part of that, how we can convert more on the things. So that the same way, actually the case what we have created, we can see the same, it will look like in the same way, the information will be come here as well. So that's actually all the things are added here as well. One thing actually I'm not find actually the way we can go for alternate stage into the Pega Express. So that I need to check that out, how we can go for the alternate stage from the Pega Express. So I'm adding the alternate stage from the Designer Studio only. So here we have update. So when we are naming alternate stage, we need to use work plus request. So because it was actually like handle alternate stage are actually when you are doing something, then the alternate stage will come, right? So basically like we are going to update the thing, or we are going to reject the things, or we are going to cancel the things. So update alternate stage follow the different naming convention um, from the primary stage. Cancel. So we can write cancel request or cancel, or we can go for reject request transfer. So here also we can, if you want to change the name, that also we can do. Okay. So that's the way we have configured the stage. So now one more thing I just want to say you, if you come here at the top of the stage, you want to see actually by mistake you move stage 2 or in place of you want to rearrange the stages, so that you can see move your cursor, you will see that 6 dotted, and if you move there the cursor will change to cross, okay, with arrow mark, then you can move it to different place. So now you can see stages can be moved from one to another as well. Same thing actually if you want to move with the once move, so it's like you can change the sequence of your stage as well. Okay, so that's it for today. So we have seen actually like how we can, what is the case, how we can create cases, how we can create stages, what are the best practices and naming convention we should follow for case and stages. So tomorrow we are going to see how we can go for process and what are the steps we are going to best practices to add process and steps tomorrow.
Mukesh, a quick question. Can you go to the top list, the fourth one after review?
Yeah.
Pending request, you said it should be manual intervention, right? So, but why did you make it as a continuation now?
See, actually from review it will go into the pending. Okay. From pending, actually like it's a manual one. I made it manual because see, when you want to do cancel or update, right?
It's the manual, then it will be not having that arrow thingy, right? It will be blocked.
No. From review, it will move to the pending directly. From the pending, when it will go into the resolve, there is no, if you see there. So from pending, it required a manual to go to the resolve.
Okay.
Not going to automatically onto that. Because you don't know you have taken the leave or not, right? It might that after coming back you want to cancel the leave, or you want to like you don't want to, you want to leave for some other day time, so you can change it. So there is, that's why I made it the pending request. So that is required some manual intervention. We cannot do automatic transitions from there. So that's why I actually moved that as a manual onto that.
Okay.
Mukesh, what was the pending request for?
Which one?
This pending request state was, can we just go directly from review to resolve?
No, actually like why it was actually included, yeah, actually your question is valid. Like the reason I included that stage is, see, you can apply for the leave, right, 1 month before or 2 months before, right? Anytime actually like it's need to be pre, you have to raise the request, right? And your request is approved now, right?
Yeah.
So once it was approved, and after approval, right, you can update the request once again. So actually the pending request is the name actually says that you have not, it was approved but not you have taken the leave. Okay, it was lying there. Okay, and from there actually like you can cancel the request as well. It was approved, but after that also you want to cancel it.
But this may happen if like when we apply for leave, the approver approves it. Then also we can cancel it. So this pending request won't come after resolve. This can come.
Actually, see, actually like the KEGA works in the same way. Once it was moved to the approval stage, right? Actually, like you can do that, but as a sequence, it will be shown is actually after the approval. So you can actually once you have not submitted the request, it will be like you have the authority to do that. Once you have sent for the request, okay, it is goes to the your manager. So he has the authority to update the request after that.
But can we put the pending request as a alternate stage or no?
Actually, like we are calling this to flow from there. Actually, pending request, like your update request and cancel request will come from the pending request only. So when we are going to design the process, you will get understand to that. Like what are we going to include in the pending request. So the update request and cancel request will come from here only. Like cancel can come from multiple places. Okay, so cancel can come in the submission as well. So that we are going to, I'll show you that tomorrow when we discuss about the processes and steps, what are the steps we are going to include in the pending request, then it will be more clearer.
Okay.
Okay.
Now actually just the naming, actually like names from the stage we have defined, and then tomorrow we are going to see how we can create processes and steps within it.
Okay.
Okay.
So these stages are linked to some code internal which the developers can make use of, or this is just for business analyst only?
There is no code is required. This is for everyone. For developer also, everything is automated in Pega. For developer also, he doesn't need to do any coding.
No, how they can make use of this? This is just for to show them that what are the stages, steps and processes.
Okay, I'll show you the beauty now. Okay, so okay, if you see this actually I've created as a like this one. So you can transit actually like as a real time also.
Okay.
So I created the stages only, right? So if you go to the lunch, okay, you can go as a manager. There is different ways to test it out. One way is actually go to the manager portal, and one way is also here you can go for the create the case as well. Okay, so this is the case manager portal.
Manager.
Sorry, Manoj?
No, we are in the manager one, you said, or
Yeah,
you went into the manager and create?
No, actually you can user portal, you can use manager portal, any one of them we can use. And we can create here as well. So if you see from the create button, actually if you new, we can create the leave request from there as well.
Okay.
So here also we can create the case. So from here you can see I want to create a leave request. So this is like with the prototyping, it's creating the application as well. So whatever the stage we have created, it's actually like it's created in the application. So here you can see that all the steps which we have created, it can be seen from here. So it's like we can move from now within the transition we can see that now. So first actually it asks for, we need to do that. Just 3 minutes will. Okay, so now we can see that submission, and if you advance the case, it will go to the approval. From the approval, we can go to the review. From review, we can go to the pending request, and it will go to the resolve. So the transition of everything is now created now. So all the steps which we are going to include within that, then also we can see that when we tomorrow when we are going to create the processes, so that also we can check it out instantly, how it is moving from one to that one.
Okay, now we are short of time, but
yes.
Tomorrow actually this was not exactly what I was looking for because it is from the perspective of a manager, but I was looking for how this is going to help a developer.
See, stage creation will not help the developer. Like process and steps are going to help developer.
Okay, processes and steps. Okay.
Yes, yes. Actually, stage will not going to help, and because states are nothing but actually the logical name. Okay, we are not doing any action.
I'm not talking about stages, but the whole process which we are using in this case. So it can be clear only after we have added the processes and the steps. Then only it will be helpful for the developer. Because I'm just thinking from their point of view that I'm ultimately building this for them only. So how this all is going to help them?
Yes, stage only like which will not going to help. Only like the processes and steps which we are going to include within the stage, that will be going to help them.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. The data model, actually like what are the fields which we required for that to process that steps. So that actually like required some more part of to configure that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is just like a workflow basically now.
Yes, this is actually like BPM is Pega is actually the workflow tool only, like the BPM, case management, CRM, everything how you can manage with the workflow.
Okay.
Okay, so it's actually 7:47, so we are going to meet tomorrow. Okay,
Okay.
thanks a lot.
Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.